Hello students, as we had shared last week, we are very happy to announce the start of our NISM Certification Exam Academy here in Sector 32 Chandigarh. And first to offer the NISM 21A Portfolio Management Services Distributor Exam for all of you. So what are the constituents of this exam and what is the main syllabus points, I will be just sharing with you in a brief time. This NISM 21A exam for Portfolio Management Services Distributor exam will be for a duration of 2 hours, having 80 multiple choice questions and 3 case study questions. Total marks are 100, out of which to be successful in this exam you have to secure 60 marks. But listen, there is a negative marking also of 0.25 for every wrong answer. So you have to be very careful and very attentive when you attend to this course and when you appear for this exam, because to get net 60 marks is the prerequisite for getting the pass certificate. Talking about the syllabus, we start with the investment landscape. When we start with the investment landscape, we talk about what is an investment, what is speculation and what is gambling, how they are different from each other. And then we go on to see what are the various factors which make any investment an investment and how it is distinguished from a speculation and gambling. How we are going to estimate the required rate of return, we will learn in this chapter. Second chapter is about introduction to the securities market. When we do introduction to the securities market, we're talking about stock exchange. We're talking about equity, derivatives. What are the various types of avenues of investment in equity? What are the various types of investment option in derivatives? We will also talk about the primary and secondary market. The third chapter is investing in stocks. Equity as an investment and diversification as a strategy for minimizing the risk to be studied in this chapter. We'll talk about overview of equity market and also study how the equity research is done. We'll also study about fundamental analysis, technical analysis and corporate governance. Chapter 4 talks about investing in fixed income securities like bonds. How do we evaluate the bonds, the various categories of bonds, how are the risk suitability of bonds is there based on every client risk profile, what is the categorization of bond in terms of safety, analysis and valuation of bond, and also the volatility in bonds will be studied in this chapter. Chapter 5 relates to derivatives, the definition of derivatives, the structure of derivatives, the product positioning of derivatives, what is a put, what is a call, what is yield to maturity, what is yield to call. All these concepts will be studied in this chapter. In this chapter, we will also study about currency options and commodity options and trading. The 6th chapter deals with mutual funds. What is the concept of mutual fund? What are the different types of mutual funds? We will also study about the benefits of investing in mutual funds. What are the taxation benefits of studying? In this chapter we will study about the legal structure of mutual funds. The legal and regulatory framework of mutual funds is also very important in this chapter. Chapter 7 deals with the role of portfolio managers. What is a portfolio manager? What is his role? What is his main role and responsibility? What are the types of portfolio management services in India? The organizational structure of PMS in India. What are the registration requirements of a portfolio manager and what are the responsibilities of a portfolio manager will be studied in this chapter. Chapter 8 deals with the operational aspects of portfolio management services. We will talk about the entities who can invest in PMS and what are the disclosures before investing which have to be shared before investing in any PMS. We will also discuss the process of onboarding in PMS and what is the operational aspect of PMS investment in India. In this chapter, we will also discuss the role of the regulator, which is SEBI in this case, and also what are the avenues for investor grievances. Needless to say, all these chapters will be followed by a random multiple choice question quizzes, which will assess your progress in this course and how you are faring towards successfully completing this program. Chapter 9 deals with portfolio management process. It deals with the process of portfolio management selection, the type of PMS which has to be selected, and how the investment process has to be done. The importance of asset allocation decision will be discussed in this chapter. We will study the correlations between different asset classes, securities, and their implications in the PMS. We will also study about what is a strategic asset allocation and what is a tactical asset allocation. So towards the end of this chapter, after studying the strategic and tactical asset allocation, we will also study the rebalancing of portfolios. Chapter 10 talks about the evaluation of portfolio managers and the evaluation of the performance of the portfolio management services. In this chapter, we will discuss about the performance risk parameters which are there, in which the PMS will be assessed on how risk averse it is vis-a-vis the kind of return which it can generate. Performance evaluation and benchmarking of the PMS will also be studied in this chapter. Chapter 11 talks about taxation of PMS. What are the various ways and sections under the Income Tax Act which are relevant to the portfolio management services? The last chapter talks about the regulatory, ethical, and corporate governance of portfolio managers. It will also talk about the PMLA Act and also the prohibitory things, the do's and don'ts of portfolio managers. So this is a very exhaustive program for clearing your NISM 21A exam for PMS distributor. So for more details, you can contact us on the numbers which are given on your screen, and we'll be very happy to have you clear this exam in the very first attempt and be a successful portfolio manager.